How do you handle asynchronous operations in Node.js? And what are the benefits of async await over callbacks or promises? In Node.js, asynchronous operations, due to its single-threaded, non-blocking input-output model, we use async await because it transforms asynchronous code and which look and behave like a synchronous code, which improves readability and maintainability. Using callbacks can lead to deeply nested and hard to manage like callback hell. Promises that require chaining async await allows sequential execution and error handling via try catch method, which improves debugging easier and code less prone, error prone will be there, and complex workflow like sequential data fetching and database transactions. Next question is explain the purpose of middleware in Express.js and provide the example of custom middleware. So in middleware in Express.js are the functions that process requests sequentially during the request response cycle. It acts as a intermediaries with access to the request and response and the next function that passes control to the subsequent middleware. Middleware is crucial for implementing reusable logic like authentication, logging, parsing, validation, or error handling. For example, I have written just custom code JWT authentication middleware. JWT refers to JSON Web Token. Two verified tokens on protected routes to ensure security. So, next question is when designing REST API, what do you approach data modeling and ensure API security? So, to effective data modeling starts with the designing schemas that accurately represent business entities and their relationship as well, while keeping normalization and query efficiency in focus. REST principle guide the use of nouns for the URL like slash users slash products and the standard HTTP methods we use like get, put, post method, delete method. For the security, we have to use like for making the communication, we have to uh, encrypt via HTTPS or TLS. Stateless authentication is implemented using JWT for access control and role-based authentication. Rate limiting prevents abuse and DDoS attacks. Inputs are validated, sanitized, and prevent injections and accesses attacks. Cost policies like restrict resource sharing to trusted origins, measures against CSRF attacks are applied where necessary. This approach will safeguard API integrity and user data privacy as well. In React.js, difference between state and props. When you use effect hook, props, it's a short form of properties which is immutable data passed from the parent component to child component. It is used to configure or parameterize those components. State represent to mutable data local to the component. Like it is the internal state of the component that can change over time also and trigger re-rendering of the component as well. Use effect hook in the functional component manages the side effects such as data fetching, subscription, or DOM manipulation. By passing dependency array, use effect control the effect run. An empty array run at once on mount, a populated array run on a specific changes, and no array means it runs after every render. Next question: MongoDB and PostgreSQL versus PostgreSQL, and we have to discuss the scenario which we would choose one over the other. MongoDB is a schema flexible, document oriented, NoSQL database best suited for the rapidly evolving applications or unstructured data with excellent horizontal scalability feature as well. PostgreSQL is a relational database with a strong asset compliance suited for the complex queries and strict data integrity. For example, I have a e-commerce platform, and we require the transaction safely and consistent payment data. Prefers only PostgreSQL, while a content management system handling diverse articles format. Sorry. So quick interaction benefit from the MongoDB flexibility will be there. Next question is describe experience with the CI/CD pipelines and how containerize the Node.js application using the Docker. I have set up the CI/CD pipeline with Jenkins also, GitHub, GitLab CI, and AWS code pipeline that automates the testing, building, and deploying the our Node.js application. The workflow includes automatic triggering on commits, running unit test, and static code uh, analysis as well to build it and building Docker images and deploying to staging and production environment. We we use Docker for the containerization purpose, which involves multi-stage build to keep images minimal and secure. How do you approach? Next question is how do you approach unit testing in Node.js Express application, and what are the best practices do you follow? I personally use the Jest or Mocha Chai to write isolated unit tests that validate individual modules or functions by mocking external dependencies like database queries. This speed up its test and ensure reliability. What are the best practices I follow? Like writing the clear, readable code with consistent naming and comments, adhering to solid principle. So to keep modules focused and maintainable, comprehensive error handling using centralized middleware, leveraging the TypeScript for static typing to catch issues pre-runtime, practicing frequent descriptive commits, following Git flow or trunk-based development strategies. This combination, like it promotes the to maintain our code base and facilitate the rapid iteration and collaboration as well. These are all the questions I have covered.